So I'm going to okay. So what am I required to show? I'm required to show that to show to show that this is what I'm required to show. Is this good enough? The size is good enough, or do I still need to write bigger?
So I think your laptop's too far. It's too pixelated for us to see clearly.
I see. Okay.
You'll have to move it closer, otherwise we can't see. It's just pixels right now. We can't see anything clearly.
Oh, really? I see.
Yeah.
I'm using my
Yes,
desktop.
sir.
Right? Yeah.
So actually some of us are not being able to see your board.
At all.
No, sir, we are just being able to see your presentation.
I see. Okay.
No,
So you have to
just
pin,
switch
sir.
to sir, no? You have to pin sir.
Okay. What does that
You
mean?
have to pin, sir.
No, sir. She have to do that, not you.
I see. Okay.
Ritika just pin sir's video.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm just experimenting with this. If it doesn't work out, then fine. I think I shall stop using the board. But
excuse me, sir, sir, the things that you are going to show, I think it is not so difficult, so we can do it on our own. If the class agrees, then we can move on.
Okay. All right. I mean, fine. All right. So maybe so then okay. So then I want to maybe I think I had planned to discuss this, but then maybe what about this? Okay, fine. All right. So I'll drop this. The idea of proving it on the board right now.
Sir, you can write in board and share the picture with us.
No, see, what I'm saying is, okay, it's getting recorded, okay? Main point is that the thing is getting recorded, okay? So if you're not able to view it, then maybe once you download the recorded stuff, you should be able to view it, okay? So let's okay. All right, I think maybe I'll postpone using this board for some more time. Let me just do this. Okay, fine. This, as Atharva said, this can be proved very easily. Maybe I shall skip it. Okay, fine. So this I shall skip it. Okay. Now, this is I think this is again one of the standard results maybe from mathematician's point of view. So let norm of x be given. Of course, this is a Euclidean norm. Then the matrix norm corresponding to induced by this vector norm is this. Okay. So where lambda1 is the largest eigenvalue of the matrix A transpose E. Okay. So now again, shall I prove this, or again this is this a routine thing?
Sir, I'm afraid that this is not so trivial, so it will be good if you prove it.
Say it again, I could not hear you very clearly.
Sir, this is not such a trivial thing in my opinion, so
okay,
it will be fine if you prove it.
Okay. So let me go to the board again, and yeah, if some of you are facing problem viewing the things that are being written on the board, just please let me know. Okay. And again, I'm sorry for any inconvenience this may cause to you. And I'm using my desktop now, right now. Maybe I think I may use my laptop if this poses some problem. Okay. So let me. So here, okay. The theorem is on the board. I mean, on the slide, the statement of the theorem. So we know that so the norm, this norm that we are talking about is a vector norm, right? So it doesn't have to be a standard Euclidean norm. Okay. So what I'm saying is, when it happens to be this Euclidean norm, then the matrix norm induced by this Euclidean norm it turns out to be equal to the square root of the largest eigenvalue of A transpose A. Okay, so again, you know, like I'm seeing this result for the first time. Let me tell you this. Okay, so when I taught this course about 6 years ago, the syllabus was different, and I ended up starting. I mean, I started discussing the simplex method and etc. etc. So that did not involve discussion on multivariable calculus at all. Okay, so anyway, so let me prove this result. Okay. So this is how the proof goes. Okay, so we have Ax is equal to, now this is a vector. This is A is m cross n. This is n. This is a vector in n dimensional Euclidean space. So this is equal to this is the norm of this vector square, because of the square you have this. Okay, and this is same thing as This is same thing as this, because this, the reason being, this is equal to, so I'm writing this is equal to X transpose A transpose AX. I can view this as some other vector. So this is n. This is 1 cross n. This is n cross 1. So this I can view as a vector, another vector. So A transpose A X n cross 1, and that actually that this is same thing as X A transpose AX. And that's why that actually enables me to write this. Okay, and having written it like this, now note that one, A transpose A is symmetric and positive semi-definite. Okay, this is the first observation, that the observation which is immediate. All right. Now in fact, I want to write this is 1 and this is doesn't matter. Now let lambda 1 be greater than or equal to lambda 2 greater than or equal to lambda n. Okay, and this is a symmetric matrix. All right. So all this, the eigenvalues are real numbers. This matrix being symmetric. So let this be the eigenvalues, and it's positive semi-definite. Therefore, all the eigenvalues are non-negative. So let this be the eigenvalues of A transpose A, and x1, x2, xn be the orthonormal set of the eigenvectors corresponding to lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda n respectively. Okay, fine. Okay, are you able to see it?
No, sir, the pixels are quite
Okay.
bad.
Some of you are having, but
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I
Akash
can.
has a problem, yeah. But some of you, are you able to see it?
No, sir.
Sir, I think nobody is able to see because the pixels are not clear at all. Like we can see you've written something on the board, but we can't
Really?
clearly see what you've written.
Oh, really? I didn't face this problem, you know. I didn't know that. Otherwise, I would have. I didn't face this problem as I mentioned to you last time in the last semester, because I used to discuss the problem set solutions on board for these PhD students.
Sir,
Is
you
it?
can you can just take a picture of that board and send it with the note. I mean, in the Moodle.
Okay. Fine. But since it is the lecture is getting recorded, will it not capture this?
Sir, it will capture it, but the clarity will not be such that people can read it.
Okay, fine. So what I will do is, you know, as Niladhari suggested, I could take a picture of this, but I can also write it down on this thing. I can make it as a part of my notes, and so that it will become accessible to you all. Does that sound okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, that's
sir.
fine.
Okay, fine. Thank you. I think let me continue with. Okay, but you are able to hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm audible, right?
Yes, sir.
So I mean,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
even though you're not able to see, you can hear, and then you can make sense out of what is being done, right? It's not. I'm not using very deep concepts, really. You know, I mean, basic stuff, basic concepts are being used, right? So I hope, I mean, you're able to make sense out of what is being said. Okay. So anyway, the proof is almost, I think, is very short. I think we. Okay, I didn't really think that this will pose problem. Okay, fine. All right. Should I continue or should I discontinue?
Sir, continue what?
Okay, so maybe I
lecture?
think I'll sit here and maybe I think, all right. So I'll try to get this issue sorted. Maybe I'll have to talk to the system administrator, Anil. He'll probably help me. He'll help me set up the whole thing properly. Okay. So I may be required to use my laptop then. I think if it is to be made visible to you all. Okay. So anyway, fine. So essentially, okay. Let me just, you know, what we are trying to prove is that if the vector norm is if the vector norm happens to be an Euclidean norm, then the matrix norm induced by this vector norm, it turns out to be the square root of the largest eigenvalue of A transpose A. Okay, that is what we are trying to prove. And what I did was I started out with the vector norm the norm square of AX. Okay, and this was represented as inner product of X times A transpose AX. And then it was observed that A transpose A is symmetric and positive semi-definite matrix, and hence all its eigenvalues are non-negative, and so they are being arranged in the decreasing order of magnitude. So lambda 1 is greater than equal to lambda 2, greater than equal to lambda 3, ... greater than equal to lambda n, and each one of them is greater than equal to 0. And x1, x2, xn are the corresponding orthonormal set of eigenvectors correspond to these eigenvalues. Okay. Now again, the question that probably should crop up your mind is that about the existing set of eigenvectors from the x1, x2, but there is a result which says that any real symmetric n cross n matrix has a set of eigenvectors that are mutually orthogonal. Okay, and once you have orthogonal vectors, you can make them orthonormal also. Okay, so that is the that is the justification. And so now let X be any vector having length 1, and let us represent it as a linear combination of these eigenvectors corresponding to lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda n. So what we are doing is now we are writing X as C1 x1 plus C2 x2 plus Cn xn. Okay, and it is easy to see that the inner product of X with itself. So inner product of X with X where X has been expressed in terms of x1, x2, xn with C1, C2, Cn as coefficients. So the inner product of X with itself turns out to be equal to C1 square plus C2 square plus dot 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 Cn square. And since the length of this vector X is 1, so we get C1 square plus C2 square plus Cn square is equal to 1. Okay. Now let's go back to the first step. So furthermore, so if you look at the square of the vector, this Ax vector norm, so that is inner product of X comma A transpose Ax, that was the first step. Now I replace X by C1 x1 plus C2 x2 plus Cn xn. So the inner product of X comma A transpose Ax is equal to the inner product of C1 x1 plus C2 x2 plus Cn xn. And now use the fact that, let us use the fact that lambda 1, lambda 2, lambda n are the eigenvalues of A transpose A. Therefore, A transpose Ax, the second vector in the inner product, can be replaced with C1 lambda 1 x1 plus C2 lambda 2 x2 plus Cn lambda n xn. Okay, so this is what it is. And then the inner product, so essentially we are dealing with the inner product of C1 x1 plus C2 x2 plus Cn xn, comma C1 lambda 1 x1 plus C2 lambda 2 x2 plus dot 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 Cn lambda n xn, and that is equal to lambda 1 C1 square plus lambda 2 C2 square plus lambda n Cn square. Okay. Now this is, so what I do is lambda 1 being the largest eigenvalue, I bound this by, so lambda 1 C1 square lambda plus lambda 2 C2 square plus lambda n Cn square, I bound this by lambda 1 C1 square plus lambda 1 C2 square plus lambda 1 Cn square. So this is less than equal to lambda 1 times C1 square plus C2 square plus Cn square, and which we know that C1 square plus C2 square plus Cn square is equal to 1. So what we have ended up showing is that this vector norm, the vector Ax norm square, is shown to be less than equal to lambda 1. Okay, is shown to be less than equal to lambda 1. Now for the eigenvector x1 of A transpose A correspond to the eigenvalue lambda 1. So now you consider norm of Ax1 square. Okay, normal. This is going to be Euclidean norm of a vector in m dimension and its square. So this is going to be equal to the inner product of x1 comma A transpose A x1, and again A transpose A x1 is lambda 1 x1, and that is equal to, so the inner product of, so the norm of Ax1 square is shown to be equal to lambda 1, and maximum of Ax, thus when the vectors are of unit length, that maximum actually turns out to be equal to square root of lambda 1. Okay, so I think in the penultimate state we showed that norm of Ax square is less than equal to lambda 1. That's what we showed. Okay, but here when you replace x by x1, in fact norm of Ax1 square exactly equals lambda 1, and equality holds, and therefore excuse me, therefore the norm of matrix norm of A is equal to norm of Ax, this vector in m dimension, and the maximum of this norm in m dimension over all the vectors having unit length is equal to square root of lambda 1, and that is the end of the proof. Okay, so I shall write down this and I shall make it part of the notes, and I shall upload notes by today evening without fail. Okay, I shall definitely do that. Okay. So now I think, yeah,
Sir,
any, yeah,
where
please.
will you upload it, in Moodle or MS Teams?
MS Teams. I'll do it in MS Teams. Is that okay? Is that okay
Yes.
with everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Okay,
fine.
thanks.
All right. Okay. Now that is what it is. I think again there is two more examples actually. You know, so I think there is one more actually. I had jotted down this thing. You know, see for example, I think I'll just orally mention this and then maybe I'll include it in notes. Now see, okay. So what this theorem tells you is that the vector norm turns is, if it is an Euclidean norm, then the matrix norm turns out to be equal to square root of lambda 1. Okay, so this is one example. Now supposing the vector norm turns out to be, or vector norm that one uses is the, let's say, one norm. I mean, you know, x1, I mean vector x1, if you are using, so vector 1 norm was defined as the sum of the absolute values of the components of vector x. So if you use this as a vector norm, then the induced norm, the matrix norm by this vector or these vector norms, actually that turns out to be equal to, okay, please note this, summation aik, I going from 1 to m, and then the maximum over k. Okay, so again let me repeat. I am saying now I am using the vector norm to be one norm, which is nothing but the vector norm of x is equal to summation absolute values of the absolute values of its coordinates. So summation absolute of x1 plus absolute of x1 plus absolute of x2 plus absolute of xn. Okay, this is in Rn, and in Rm it will be absolute of x1 plus absolute of x2 plus absolute of xn. Then in that case, the induced matrix norm turns out to be equal to summation absolute of aik, excuse me, and then you're summing. So essentially what you're doing is you're finding the column sums. You are finding the column sums. First column sum is found, second column sum is found, third column sum is found, and last nth column sum is found. Okay, so these column sums, so there you'll have n column sums, and the maximum of these n column sums is taken to be the induced matrix norm. Okay, I will stop in a minute. I think maybe I'll stop this. Okay, I think time is already up. Let me not overshoot. Let me stop here. I'll continue with this next time. Okay, yeah, we'll continue to discuss the review of some, again, multivariable calculus. We'll have to talk about the matrix converging to another matrix. Those concepts also, I think so. Not that everyone is familiar with those concepts, so I will have to review this material in Thursday's class. Thank you all. Any comments? You think? Oh, so I see now the chat, few chats here. Okay, so I made note of this chat, the chat messages. Okay. All right, fine. Let's stop here. So I will stop the recording.